Oh, we finally did it. We finally kicked Pat Lynch off the podcast.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again here for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. For those about to rock, who want we salute you.
And there's our first copyright infringement.
Oh, you're right. Oh, it's funny. I was singing last week on the podcast, and Pat cringed so hard. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but Pat's just over there. He's like taking his headphones off. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. I got Chris McCraw on the ones and the twos. I got Joe Keneally looking great. Loving his pant to shirt ratio, looking great. No Pat Lynch today. It's a beautiful day in Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, the boys ran 10 miles today, feeling great. Maybe not great, but good.
Feeling all right.
Yeah, I think I've heard more on other runs.
Yeah,
like other 10 miles. It was nice weather.
Beautiful.
Oh, the weather was great. I feel like I'll be probably a little bit more sore tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed I got sunburned when I was taking a shower on the top of the neck.
Chris,
I got it on top of my head.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's itchy as all hell here.
I did. I had a wonderful run. This is the best I've ever felt after 10 miles at the end of the race. Usually I'm like literally about to die, like wanting to die. And this time it was easy peasy lemon squeezy. I felt great. So it was awesome. And the city's beautiful. I got time to like actually enjoy it. And like when I got to like mile 7, I was like, hey, that's like you get to mile 8, but you come across that water one more time. And I'm just like, hey, take it in, enjoy, relax. Don't worry about it. But then mile 10, I was like, these motherfuckers trying to race me.
I was coming up to like mile 5, and I got that little boost. I saw Peter coming. I saw him before he saw me, and then all of a sudden he looks up and he looks over and he sees me. And like we're not like anywhere close to each other, but we can see each other, and we're like pointing at each other, and he's just like screaming. Carried me for like another 2 miles.
That is the best.
Yeah.
And no joke, that is both ways. I literally was so stoked to see you that close to me and Grecia. I was like, hell yeah. And then I saw Joe like maybe like 10 minutes later. It was awesome.
Yeah. It was all everybody was within like a reaching distance of each other.
Yep. And then LD coming up, taking up the caboose, but she did it. She
finished under an hour and a half too.
I was like, yeah, and she was complaining about her time. I'm like, you're a silly goose, but now feeling great. Boys, so last week we had last Saturday was another one of those marathon Saturdays. Me and Chris ran. We golfed. We started at PRB early. Excuse me. It was like one of those marathon type of days. Yeah. Called it about
a full Chicago day right there.
Yeah, called it about 1.
Yeah.
And one of the best Sundays I felt. After we put in a little bit of work, these vitamins are goddamn miracle workers at times.
They can be. It was quite nice on Sunday, getting up and just kind of being able to do what you wanted, relax. I mean, I slept until like 10. Pierre texted me at like, I think it was like 10:30. Yeah. Like you were like 10. You're like, hey, do you want to go to the gym? And because you had something going on on Sunday, didn't you?
Yeah, what did we do? We did do something on Sunday.
You were going to do like the plant store.
Oh, yes, but that wasn't like, it was actually one of those Sundays. You know what, actually? We worked out. Lauren went to like that art thing that was and I didn't have to do anything on a Sunday. It is, man, doing nothing on a Sunday sometimes and feeling amazing. You're like, God damn, this ain't so bad, baby.
I mean, yeah,
I see why people do this.
Yeah,
I think we got back at like 11:30.
Yeah.
I mean,
had a lunch.
Yeah, took
a shower.
Just kind of lazing about for a little bit. Yeah.
Did a little bit of work. I'm hoping these work for tomorrow. We'll go to Frank's, have a nice time. Yeah. Get home at a reasonable time. Go to bed, not get up at like 9 o'clock on Monday. Dude, I'm stoked. It's life is good, ladies and gentlemen, and sometimes you just gotta appreciate it.
Sweet
and there you go. And today, legitimately for me and Joe, for the last 10 years, we've ran this race 10 years now.
Yeah.
This has been our start to the summer, and I could not think of a better beer to start the summer with than what? Summer Shandy, bitches.
Hell fucking yeah.
We went to Post Malone on Thursday, and I'm a little sad that they have. It's good, it's nice, I get it. They're making a lot of money doing this, but I did like that Summer Shandy came out because it was fresh. First couple out.
Oh yeah, beer. I forgot that you guys were drinking Shandy. I was drinking old style.
I don't know though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt a little bit rougher But I think that was more the 6 hours of sleep from Thursday because we went to Post Malone at Wrigley Field Thursday night. Me, Chris, Pat, and Brian. It was so goddamn cold, but it was so awesome. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a good concert. The only issue I had on Friday was like waking up with like kind of like sinus pressure.
Yeah,
that
you go from that cold to
yeah.
I got up at like 6:45, so like I got like 6.5, but I was still like, man, I'm exhausted. And you stood from as soon as Jelly Roll started, as soon as we got in there, Jelly Roll's going right to Post Malone. You didn't sit for more than maybe 15 minutes.
The machine was there, Joe. I forgot to tell you that.
I saw. Apparently, I saw a thing, and I was wondering why. But him and Tom Segura were at Binny's earlier this week.
They're vodka.
Whatever Dos.
Yeah.
Dos Ovros or something like that.
That's their vodka.
Yeah.
That they have, and they were at.
But they were doing a thing.
They were, and then they ended up at Old Crow, and they were pouring out shots and stuff.
Wow.
Oh, we're all like him and Jelly. Were all those guys or just?
I'm sure Jelly Roll was there.
Well, I mean, he screamed out at the concert. Him and Post Malone were going drinking after the show, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, no, there's no chance.
40-year-old Chris is like, yeah, I don't need that anymore in my
That
life.
would also be like a wild bar to be at.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It would be so packed.
A drink, and then you're not drinking for like another hour.
And Brian suggested like after the show, he's like, you guys want to go for a drink? And we probably would have ended up at the bar that they were at just by happen chance.
Because that's our luck.
Yeah.
No, that was probably the hardest no I've said in a while to another drink.
Yeah.
It was like, Brian, I want to so bad because I also know that he's got his in-laws in and he's having a great time, but he's not going to be having a couple drinks this weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure he would have loved to have had
If we weren't parked in another zip code, we would have.
That was another issue. But yeah, it was a really good time, and I can't recommend if you get an opportunity in Chicago to see a concert for a band that you really like. There's nothing better. They do it right. The music is always on point. Post Malone, it was all. I've never seen this many fireworks. I've never seen fireworks at Wrigley Field.
I think Luke Bryant, the one time we went, he had fireworks. But you're right, they had a ton, and I'm trying to think of. I don't think the Foo Fighters had that many. I'm just trying to think.
The Foo Fighters did.
The Foo Fighters did, but I'm trying to think like who's like
that. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I remember that. But that night, that sun did not go down till like 10 o'clock. So when he was letting them off, I remember it still being very bright, and it was just because the sun didn't go down.
Yeah, it didn't go down. What was really cool is he finished his concert on one of the rooftops across the street. I told Joe that. But that was awesome. Like, I'd never seen that before. That was kind of really cool.
Yeah. No, it was a wonderful. I mean, Post puts on a show, and he was going from his old school kind of pop rap type deal to country rap that he was like country pop he's doing, and it was mixing and matching.
Yeah, and he was just not nailing the country. Like he like the ones that he plays on the radio that are country are good. The other ones were just like nah.
Oh yeah.
Wrap it up, bro. Go back to the other stuff.
Yeah, there were a lot of there were a couple times where his singing or like his whatever he was doing where you're like, oh boy.
I also did tell Pepsi to tackle him and kick him out because I'm pretty sure Wrigley's a tobacco-free area. Like they don't even allow like chewing tobacco for like baseball players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he lit up a cigarette.
That's crazy.
So I texted Pepsi. I'm like, yo, take that guy out, dude.
Man's breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Is that going to be a song tonight?
No.
Oh.
And then Pepsi texted me at like 11:30. He's like, sure.
That would bust my balls so hard if he was here for that. You'd be like,
you don't know their entire discography. They're a band that's been around for 60 years. You should know all their songs.
We have an empty. We should. Pat, Katrina, empty seat. Peter, Lauren, Joe, me.
Sounds good.
We
grind up all on Joe.
The hits of AC/DC. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the boys are going to AC/DC at Soldier Field.
We've been there already today.
Yeah.
Once. You know what I'm bummed about? I meant to take a photo or like on a round.
Like panorama.
Thank you. An around photo is what I was about to say.
One of those circle photos. I definitely I knew you were going. So that's just how that
and then try and get another one
tonight.
Oh, with the concert.
That would have been sick.
And I didn't think of it.
You got to it and you're just like, screw this.
I left and I was like, oh fuck, can I get back in? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, in the actual stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been sick. Oh, I get what you're saying now. I'm sorry.
He wanted to do like a before and after type.
Dude, that would have been Dude, they have to be aggressive. But I was sitting there and I was trying to wait for aggressive because then it should have been closed. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yo, go. Hey, you go.
Yeah, they were just like
Go.
pointing.
Oh, were they? They didn't say anything to me. They must have known. Like they must have seen I was dead. Because the other thing is like I found it like people are running past me and I'm just like, get across the finish line, just get across the finish line, just get across the finish line. And all I see is like these people trying to take their video themselves. I'm like, I don't want any of this. Like I look miserable.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I looked up and I saw myself. I'm like, oh God. Put my head back down.
Yeah, jeez. No, so what I was thinking is AC/DC's like their hits. We know all the hits, but if they go anywhere off track, I'm boned. I'm boned.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to like Thunderstruck. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, I also said that we're gonna buy the Thunderstruck beers. So because you know the song Thunderstruck, like when they say Thunderstruck or Thunder, you
Thunderstruck.
yeah. So when they say Thunder, you drink, and then they say Thunder again, you stop. Next person drinks. And it's a drinking game.
That sounds fun.
And yeah, so we're gonna have beers. So Pat's already looked up the line. So it's gonna be the fifth song in. So we gotta get the beers ready.
Nice.
I'm also looking forward to Highway to Hell.
Oh yeah.
Always a classic.
Oh yeah.
So I was talking to Brian about this as we were walking to the restaurant, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I know who AC/DC is. I know their songs, but I'm so bad at knowing band titles of songs. And then he's like, well, of course you know this, you know this, you know that. And I was like, oh, I know all of those. Multiple mentions in this conversation seconds ago. And I was like, oh, yeah. But I am so bad at memorizing or remembering names of songs for musicians.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah. Like people mention songs to me, and they're like, this person sings that. I'm like, I'm sure if you played the song, I probably know what it is, but I am horrible at like names and titles
trivia,
of songs.
Sorry, if we did like a music trivia, I would be shit. I mean, I know that song. Yeah. I don't think. Here's the problem.
I've heard that song. I don't know the name or the artist.
How many times do you think you've actually heard the title of a song though?
Oh, I know.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean, there was Post Malone sang one song, and I was like, wait, that's him?
Yeah. There's a few.
I was like, whoa, wait, what? No, that can't be true.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Going back to AC/DC though, I am curious. These are some older gentlemen. I'm curious how they're gonna sound live. Have you guys ever seen AC/DC?
No,
live?
this is the first time.
Pat has seen them at. Sorry, Chris again.
Go ahead.
Pat has seen them at Soldier or at Wrigley Field.
I want to see that. I want to see if the one guy who does the guitar thing and hops on one leg.
Thing? Yeah,
I want to see if he does that.
Found out they were from Australia today. Didn't know that.
Did not know that
I
either.
assumed they were American.
I assumed they were English because they.
That's
had,
what I thought too. Yeah.
Maybe. Yep.
You know what? Actually, I don't ever really think I thought about where they were from. Not gonna lie.
I heard them.
Never really thought.
Well, I heard them in an interview one time, and they had like an accent, and I just automatically assumed they were from the England or the United or from over there.
So last week we did what's your favorite childhood toy, like out of a list of toys. Here's one for you. What's your favorite accent? Do you have one? First of all, and if you do,
I do. I have a two-way tie between Joe's Australian accent and Joe's German accent.
The New Zealand Australian accent.
I'm gonna drink a Foster's, go home and
like Richard Duff's accent. Or Fisher's accent. It's the cream of the crop for me.
Fair enough.
That's funny.
The American accent, or our Chicago accent's probably the grossest of them all.
Oh, easily.
Crop. Yeah.
We are pretty gross individuals. It's funny because you don't think about it, and then people are like, "Man,
it comes out in certain words."
Yeah,
and like,
either way, we have the most American. So we booked our
I do like a Southern accent though.
Oh yeah. Oh, on a Southern belle. Oh, see, Jesus.
Dear me. It's getting awful hot all of a sudden.
Girl, take my wallet. Goddamn. No, but the redneck version of that, no thank you. But that Southern belle.
You know the other. You know what other good one that is from America? That's a little mixture of everything is Creole. When you hear those like the guy from the water ball.
Yo, so you like to see homos naked?
No.
That's from a movie. That is Joe Dirt.
Yeah, Joe Dirt.
Yep.
Home is where you're mad. You like to see homos naked?
Yeah. Not home where you're mad. No. Okay, we get it. I get it. It's cool, dude. I don't care. Damn it! I had something where we're going with that. But yes, Southern Bells, baby girl. Ooh, sweet, sweet ladies.
Oh, you were talking about favorite accents.
Yeah, and then I was gonna go somewhere with that, but that's okay. I'm drinking these way too fast. Here's my issue. Saturday, dude. Actually, this is in my notes. So me and Chris both looked at. So we were having a ball at with Jelly Roll. with Post Malone. Brian's hype. Pat's into it. Pat's actually really not into it. But Pat's having a good enough time. But me, I look at Chris and I'm like, and I literally said to myself, I'll just have a couple. Like, it's not gonna be a big deal. No one's gonna really want to drink. We had a
first Michelob Ultra. Oh,
I can't tell you how deep I wanted to go in the hole after that one. It encompassed my whole body, like how great that tasted. Yeah. And I was like, oh man,
it was like your body got tricked. It's like, oh, the weekend starts now.
Your body's like, whoa! I thought it was Thursday.
Yeah.
This is like a Friday activity. What are you doing here? This is real nice.
This feels real good. And the music is just, and you're hitting like Jelly Roll's hitting the jams.
He's hitting his hits, and you're like, yeah, I like this.
You're like, what are we doing today, Peter? What are we doing? What are we doing? You got to get up at 6:30.
Just having that in the back of your head, just.
It wasn't stopping me.
That's a small little voice. It's like,
yeah.
Hey, you gotta get up at 6. Shut up, stupid.
Hey guys, you shouldn't be drinking.
Shut the fuck up.
Take down drink.
And this, yeah. I had to preface to Lauren Davis. I had to tell her, I'm like, hey, you're in for a treat tonight. This might be Nashville style Peter tonight. I just have to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of zoned out for a lot of the race. I just listened to the music.
Oh, I love that.
Kept my head down and just kind of ran. At one point, though, I thought, are we going to get like loosey-goosey post-run drunk where we're like at Lottie's? And now we won't be at Lottie's because no good dancing at Lottie's anymore. But
really
I was like, might be going to Enjoy or Beauty Bar and just fucking tearing that floor up and showing these people what it's like to really fucking own the dance floor.
Peter, you know what, Joe talking like that, you know what it reminds me of? Is that Ralphie May, the Comedy Central bit, the little bit, like, I can't remember, but like what the name of the show is, but Ralphie May comes on, he does only one of them, and he's talking about being at a gay wedding.
Oh, no.
This isn't happening.
This isn't happening. Yes. He's like, this one is for dancing, this is for...
No, so like, Joe's
at a gay wedding.
So like, Joe's like, we're going to show him how this dance floor is going. And then it reminds me of Ralphie May, where Ralphie May's like, I'm pretty sure, I felt like I was having like a great conversation with people on on this level, like talking about, if you think about it, we're just like an atom, like a quant on like the space and blah blah, and come to find out, I'm in the corner dancing by myself, tweaking my nipple, and grabbing my junk. That's what I imagined we were doing. That's what I imagined. Like you're like, we're gonna be tearing up the dance floor. All three of us are gonna be so drunk, we're just like in this corner. Like,
No, Chris McGraw, you gotta be in good behavior today. You cannot. That's why I had to preface it. I had to let the lady know. I'm like, hey, there's a little bit of an animal in me right now.
Wait, why does Chris got to be on good behavior?
He's just, that's the type of life he has to live these days.
Okay. Right,
he's got to go through some things.
I don't have to do anything.
You got to do what I did, and you got to start on Thursday and say, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, and then Friday reinforce the honesty.
I'll let you know. It's going to go down.
It's about to go down. All right. Let's get into last week's news to start off this week, boys. Did you guys? This is a really sad one. Did you see the Mexican Navy ship that hit the Brooklyn Bridge?
No.
This is huge.
No.
When did this happen?
So this happened last week.
I really haven't been watching the news.
Yeah, it happened last week. They have this like very like, it's almost like, it's not like you think our ships. This is more like a decorative and they were going. It's like a.
Oh wait, I did hear about this. I didn't realize it was a Navy ship.
Yes,
I heard they had engine trouble.
This is what they're thinking.
It was like a sailboat.
Yes. Yeah. It's like a decorative
Yeah.
And they had, but I don't know if you've seen the video.
Huge masts.
Huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have people all.
Don't think military. Think like pirate ship.
Yes.
Like nice. Yeah.
But instead of having like masts going, they had people all the way up and down the mast. Mm-hmm. So they had, think about like people standing on the mast while they're in on whatever that is the Brooklyn Bridge is on.
Yeah. The river over there.
Yeah, and their engine. What they're thinking happened is the engine failed, and they couldn't stop it. And instead of being smart and grabbing all these people down, they ran directly into the Brooklyn Bridge, snapping these with people on top, and these people just flailing down. The video's horrific.
They were saying, when I heard about this originally, I don't know if there's been any updates, but initially what they were saying is the engine went out, power went out, so they couldn't control it, and the current just took the ship, and,
Right into the bridge?
it couldn't do anything to stop it.
Yeah. What they
And-
should have done is grabbed all the people down.
Yeah, and then it just hit the mast, and it took people.
So it killed 2,
Wow.
and I think it injured like anywhere from 15 to 20 people, and like a lot of them are still in pretty serious condition.
Yeah.
It was, dude. But you can watch these people. I watched like 2 seconds. I'm like, I'm out.
See, I don't. Those types of videos don't intrigue me. Like seeing people get like
And it
bodily
was
harm and stuff.
It was I mean, like you could, whoever got the video must have right off.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost like taking a video on the Chicago River where those bars are, and you just see the ship like right there, and it just goes
Crush right into it.
I mean, yeah, it's fantastic in that it's amazing how clear the video is. I mean, it's awful that it happened, but I couldn't believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one's another crazy one. In New Orleans, 10 guys, 10 prisoners escaped. Did you see that? That's insane.
What the fuck, man?
10 prisoners.
I am not getting the right news here. I'm getting like all these stupid freaking like Supreme Court crap and whatnot. I got to find a different news channel.
Yeah, fuck the Supreme Court. No, the jail is saying they must have had inside help.
Oh no, they do. They arrested
way.
they arrested a maintenance guy, but the maintenance guy is saying that these dudes, one of the dudes, threatened to kill him if he did not help, and you
can make like $120,000 if you capture all these guys. Like,
yes,
that's how much.
So they've gotten 5 of 10.
Oh,
the other
is the dog the bounty hunter out there getting them?
5 of the
Probably.
10 are captured. 5, but the other 5 are considered armed and dangerous. And
Yeah, I'm not messing with that.
they
buddy.
run through the pisser. There's like a bracket.
Yeah,
so they took
it's
the
like
bracket off.
piping, and they
Yeah.
have this like metal gate covering the hole, and it's supposed to be like cemented into the wall. And for whatever reason, they were able to remove the nuts and then pull this bracket off and get in between, and just get out. But they're like the
They wrote on the wall, "Too easy." LOL.
yeah. Yep. And then the whoever what do you call the person who controls the
warden?
The warden.
Yep, the warden.
She came out and she was saying like, there's no way they couldn't have done this without inside help.
Yep.
We're investigating.
They already
But
arrested
also-
one maintenance guy.
Yeah, but also our technology sucks. We need money. We're 150 people understaffed at the 150 people, or no, they're like 50 people understaffed here, and they need 150 in the new jail going up, and they don't have people for that yet either. So they're like, we're severely understaffed. We're severely under.
Yeah, you do not want to go to jail in America.
I mean, like they're not getting enough money. It was funny. Funny. I don't know if that's the right word, but she's going through all this, and then she's like, by the way, all this happens because we're not getting money and we're not getting people and we can't pay people. We need more money. This is stupid.
100%. Yeah, it's scary. And you got to imagine, so those 10 people, so they got 5 of the 10. They caught a guy sleeping on a bench in New Orleans, by Bourbon Street. He was just sleeping.
They had caught
Wow.
like 2 guys that day, the first day.
The other 5 are probably
3.
gone, but they'll find them.
But if that
You have no resources, and it's so hard to do it nowadays.
Yeah, it is. But the first thing you're doing is you're getting the hell out of town. Like you're getting out of the state.
No, so I watched this show on HBO. It's called I Almost Got Away. And it talks about like years. So most of these are much older times, but most of those guys actually don't go that far off because let's say you try to go to Mexico. If you don't speak Spanish, the border towns from America and Mexico are miserable. You don't want to be in there.
Yeah.
You want to go
get further down. Yeah.
You want to go down to where the resorts are because then you can get to an expat. But you have to take buses through, and if you don't speak English, and then here's the thing: you're preyed on because you're an American, and they can kind of tell that if you're going through these, there's something wrong, and so they prey on you, and then you can't speak English. So if you get robbed, now you can't eat.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't thinking about going to Mexico. I'm just thinking like get the hell out.
No, and I'm saying so what most people do is, and what they have to do is, they have to get with family, and they have to, or close to family, and they got to get money from them, and then they can go. Because if let's say you get on a bus and you get to, let's say you go from New Orleans to let's say anywhere in Florida, if you got no resources, good luck.
I'm getting on one of those trains that just fucking
Because you're not eating, you're not drinking.
I'm getting on a freight train. And I'm just riding the rails, baby.
Yeah, but the problem is,
that's a good idea.
Here's the other thing I've watched on YouTube. For some reason, YouTube gave me a guy who professionally does.
It's
The railroad.
hard.
It
I've
is.
seen some of these videos.
It's awful.
They're like, fuck. They stop the train in the middle of nowhere. They're
Yep.
doing searches car by car. Fuck.
Well, yes, and then you can hide, and but they'll just stop in the middle of the desert, and then now it's free. It's in the desert.
Yeah, and it's not warm during nighttime. Yeah,
There's
okay.
nowhere to eat.
They're like, you have to get off right here, right now.
Yeah.
We cannot let you back on this train.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'm sure that's fucking great too.
Yeah.
There won't. Again, I hope they don't put it's on it. But you're right. And who knows? But yeah, it's not. You think like it'd be great. Like there's a kid.
Oh, I don't think it's great.
Well,
but
no.
like,
I'm sorry. It seems like there's like
It's
a fantasy about it. Yeah.
romanticized.
Yes.
Yeah,
About-
it is. Yeah,
about
I
how
could-
cool it is
yeah,
to ride
yeah,
the
romantic.
rails
Yeah.
on-
One
yeah.
kid does do it from. He's from Chicago actually. His parents are dentists, so he doesn't have to do it, but he likes to do it. So he'll do it, and he just will stock up, and his parents have it. They track him, and so if there's any issues, but he'll go from Chicago and he'll train to California.
Wow.
Wow. That's
The fact that
That's
the parents,
cool and
the fact that the parents allow him to do that is even more wild.
Well, the problem is he is an adult, so I don't know that he. I'm sorry, like you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't
he's,
know.
he's sharing his Google
Yeah,
map
no.
location with the fam.
Well, no, when he said he was a kid, I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. But like,
Yeah.
that makes more sense. And sharing it with somebody
Probably
makes
like
sense too.
young adult,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Talking about New Orleans, the prison escape and causing issues. What about the Uber driver who ended up almost on a runway?
Gotta love that.
Oh, I only heard that through you guys. Yeah.
This man was determined. It's like you ever see talk about bits. Daniel Tosh and his hey kid, or like when the kid goes to get his hat.
Oh yeah, get his hat. Like it's a roller coaster thing. He's like, I don't know if it's like Tosh.0 or it's like an actual like.
I think it's a stand-up bit. Stand-up bit.
He goes on a roller coaster. He loses his hat, and he climbs over these fences, and then it's like the sign's like, he's like, just give it up, kid. It's not worth it. And
It's not worth it.
He's like, you've never seen me how good I look in that hat.
But then it goes, and then there's the next.
Yeah.
There's the next sign that
Sign,
says
it's
like,
like,
"Hey, no,
yeah,
seriously,
seriously,
we're-
come on now. Knock it
it's
off."
not worth it." And then he goes, "No." He's like, "Well, you've never seen me in this hat."
Yeah.
And then he gets the hat, and he gets his head booted.
he gets kicked by and he gets decapitated.
And that actually happened on a roller coaster.
That lady, it was
Yes.
a woman, and she
Yes.
shattered her leg.
I absolutely shattered her leg.
Oh, can you?
And he's like, the Raiders should have signed her.
Yeah, that was the joke.
So-
they said that they said it was pure luck.
coaster, and you killed someone.
They said it was
by shattering this dude's head.
No, I don't know. I don't think he was decapitated.
I don't know if it
I'm
was.
not saying he
but-
was, but that
Dude,
is
she shattered
that
her
is-
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he unfortunately
That
died.
is blunt force
yeah.
trauma. Like
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
dent in that kid's head.
Yep.
Yeah. The Uber driver, they said, was lucky that it was during the day because like it wasn't at nighttime.
Yeah. Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
Or was it at night?
No, it was during the day because they said it was at nighttime.
He would have gone.
You can't tell the difference between the brake lights between
Yes.
a plane and that. Like it's just you're just seeing lights, and they're like the only reason they got caught is some guy in one of the towers saw him on the fucking runways.
He's just like breaker,
Yeah,
99er. You're down for runway number. What the fuck
fuck
is that? I was like,
Excuse me.
Tower one. What was
what-
that? Don't land. There's a.
It looks like an Uber
driver.
I think he's got my pizza. Hold on. Let me go get that.
Shit, I think my DoorDash is on the runway.
That looks like a Is that a Volkswagen Jetta?
Oh fuck! I didn't know.
It ain't got
Hey, you know
wings,
what? Here,
man.
in
Get
New
it outta
York
here.
or New York, they can't. They're blacking out. We're catching Uber drivers on our. What is going on,
Dude.
This
Oh my God.
is gonna leave me right.
That's another thing.
And they didn't even. And I read the article about. And it wasn't his fault. Like there was
No,
there was no signage. Like he didn't even know that he was out. Like he was on these roads. He's just I'm just trying to find this address.
yeah.
And they interviewed him. Like he didn't force his way out there. He just like I don't know how somebody somebody must have left something open, and somebody's getting fired because there's no way.
Thank
that guy
God
should-
he didn't, because
Yeah.
he was like, I'm joking, he was determined. He was just following the route.
Yeah.
So they did not give him a ticket. He didn't get arrested, nothing. I was like, at least there's some common sense in like, it wasn't his
Yeah.
fault. Thank
He
God.
it wasn't like
persecuted,
it
thankfully.
was
Yeah.
it was literally like an accident type
Yeah.
thing. Like he was not maliciously trying to get through the airport to run somebody
Yeah.
over or something.
Yeah.
Like that guy at the golf course 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Hey, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. I've been meaning to talk about this, about the arsonist who is targeting cannabis stores.
I think you did. Yeah, because we were talking about it. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was in an Uber.
It could have been.
I don't know.
There is a arsonist in Chicago targeting weed stores, like cannabis stores in the city of Chicago. He's hitting 3. It is crazy to me. That is crazy that's gotten zero attention. I know he hasn't done it in a while.
I haven't heard it except from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, we talk about the airports. I do watch a little bit too much politics, and I shouldn't, but it does piss me off. There's a lot of hearings. There's a lot with Robert Kennedy, a lot of different ones. The IRS guy just got torn a piece because I forget which, it might have been, who's the Elizabeth Warren, sorry. She won at the IRS agent because of the stuff that's going on with Harvard. And she's like, does the president have the ability to revoke somebody's non-for-profit status? And it's actually in the law that the executive branch cannot do this. And the IRS was trying to dance around, and she was just not letting it. So I've watched all this. And then why this brought me up is the tax bill. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be my soapbox. The tax bill that the House passed this week and that the Senate is mulling over is absolute dog shit for you. And this is costing Americans $4 trillion.
To the deficit that's already out of fucking whack.
And also, if you're a MAGA supporter, he told you he was not going to run on deficits. The government would not run on deficits. We're running on a $4 trillion deficit over the next 8 years. That is some fucking bullshit. Secondly, we reduce the taxes for the rich. None of us are getting anything out of this. Absolutely nothing. What we're getting out of this is reduced Medicaid.
Fucked.
We're getting reduced Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security.
Which he said he wasn't going to touch.
Yep.
At one point he goes,
You need to stop asking me this question.
Yeah.
Read my lips.
Your ass is grass.
Read my lips. Read my lips. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm not touching it.
And then he goes, so this is the bullies of politics. He goes down to the Senate and says, if you do not vote for this tax bill, we will the next time you're up for a re-election, we will make sure you don't get reelected. So this is what we have voted for. This is the bullshit that we're going to deal with. Moody came out last Friday, downgraded the U.S. debt. Every other credit agency has already downgraded America for a while. Moody was the last standing that kept us at like AAA. They've downgraded us because we're not taking our deficit seriously. And what the fuck did we do this week?
We tariffed.
We add $4 fucking trillion to our deficit.
Possibly. Eventually.
We also have Kristi Noem, who's the Secretary of Homeland Security, and she doesn't know what habeas corpus means.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically, to give anyone an idea, it's like it's so that you have to be you have to be able to go to court in like a timely fashion.
Yes.
In front of a judge. And
that's
as opposed to like not, being deported to Venezuela and being labeled as MS-13 without, a trial of your peers or anything like that.
Well, yes, or the kids.
Absolutely no fucking idea. She starts with, gives the president the power to.
Oh, she looked like a fucking absolute idiot.
It was unreal.
And this is also in reference to the students. You might not like what they're saying. But think about, just please, for the love of God, anybody on the other side, think about if it was the opposite way. If anybody would have if we would have, for anything that you wrote about for Donald Trump in a good mind, like after January 7th, and we put you in a detention center and said, forget about it, we'll deal with you when we want to deal with you.
Yeah, some of you are going to go to Guantanamo, some of you are going to Venezuela.
The students, that one woman who was... all she did was write. And I don't. That's fine if you. But all she did was write in a newspaper, pro-Palestine in a newspaper, and then you picked her off the street and threw her in a detention center in New Orleans, away from anybody. Because why you throw her in New Orleans is because you have a favorable judge in Louisiana.
Yeah, that's what all these both sides do is they.
No, I get that, but and how you don't see that that is scary.
The issue I have is mostly all you see is like, oh, we're like you hear, oh, this bill's coming out, it's lower taxes, but like they're just kicking the can down. Like Pat says, they're just kicking the can down 4 more years, and then it's somebody else's problem. Like it literally, at some point, people need to realize, like, hey, this $1 trillion, $100 trillion deficit that we have is eventually going to be our problem. They're all 95 years old in this. In the Senate, in the House, as a president, and they don't care. They're going to be gone in 10 years. And it's going to be our issue.
This is both sides too. This is not.
Oh no, yeah, this is not.
This isn't a Republican Democratic. This is politicians' issues. These motherfuckers they don't care. They don't care. We have to get serious about it. We have to get serious about it. But
the whole thing's a game now.
It is. Oh, and Andrew Schultz did a podcast and he was talking about this. And people, like, he doesn't agree with the thought that, stuff that the Donald Trump, and I'm not saying this is the right, this is what Donald Trump is doing. This is what his administration is doing. And he's like, oh, this isn't Hitler stuff. You're downgrading what Nazis did. And it's like, how did they think they started?
Yeah.
They didn't start like immediately with people in gas chambers.
No.
They built up to a situation.
There's a famous like streamer on Twitch, guy from New Jersey. Okay, he's a Jewish guy. By what is it, like familial history?
Okay,
and he went somewhere out of the country. He was coming back. He's more of a liberal, and he talks against like a lot of the stuff happening in Israel. And
is that Hassan
Piker? Yeah.
I love that. Well, it's actually, I like his stuff, but at times
some of it's like good.
So all over the place. It's like
Yeah.
there's never like a straight like.
Well, you know what? Because he's always on there. You hear exactly what he has to say about everything, which is probably a better representation than most politicians out there who just come out with whatever. But he was coming back out of the country. He took his family on vacation around like Easter, Thanksgiving, I don't know, in the last couple months. He's got global entry, which means he's basically got pre-check for coming back
he's a low risk. He's a low risk traveler that can make his easy way through customs.
He got pulled off to the side, and he got questioned about things he said about Trump, about things he said about Israel, about things he said about Palestine. He's like, I don't know why this happened. I have global entry. I'm an American citizen. They're clearly just trying to
they're trying
pull this power trip, and somebody. I mean, this got national news, and then somebody in politics is like, "I'm sorry, does the TSA have the authority to tell someone they can't enter the country based on something that someone said? Like, what? How is this even?"
How is
a situation that's come to be?
And then some people, but then the problem is the right the MAGA tries to rationalize it. No,
we're trying to keep the country safe.
Well, they're like, oh, is it? He was just detained. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
No, the point what they did there was intimidation.
His rights were infringed on.
It was intimidation.
This guy gets detained.
Yes.
That
thrown in a corner.
Gets arrested and put into a jail that nobody knows.
Because you're supposed to be scared to say what you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Your rights were infringed on. He should be able to say what he wants. Like he didn't say anything that was.
He's never said anything in the sense of I want to hurt the president.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Yeah. No, you should.
You should be scared of that because if they're doing it, you're not going to be in power all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn.
Yeah, and then what happens to you?
Yeah.
Now you got to be afraid. Like, you can't rationalize something like that. You got to realize, like, oh, that guy's rights were infringed on. That shouldn't.
We're not going to agree on everything, but there's got to be some things that we have to immediately agree.
Honor.
There's got to be in free speech. We all agree free speech, even if you hate it.
Yeah.
That gets me going. It's like you guys are out of your fucking mind. Mm-hmm. The rationalization of everything. But again, I get it's both. It's not one side. It's both sides.
It's both sides.
Because when the Democrats are in power,
people rationalize what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the right thing. No,
because what woke means now. But when it was like the Me Too and all that went too far. That went way too far, and we have to admit that went too far.
Oh, it did.
But what's going on now is too far.
Yeah.
In the name of like national security, we're gonna throw that out for everything. It's like, come on, man. Right, let's get. This is how we always end. We get into the middle of the politics. Let's feel got stories.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back. Some
We got some AC/DCs. We're already through 2 beers.
Two beers.
Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be
a good holiday weekend.
yeah. I mean, listen, we can. Here's the other thing. We always talk about this, but we are. I saw this. Like statistically, like we're all doing very, very well.
Oh yeah,
And you just gotta appreciate how great that is.
all very lucky and blessed.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Grandmother has miracle recovery from brain bleed after doctor said 5 times she wouldn't survive.
Wow, nice. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go.
Rare bird moment as photographer witnesses missile thrust feeding orphan blackbird as her own. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, there
that's
you go.
weird, but that's kind of nice.
Well, normally you don't see other bird species take care of
Nope.
Yeah.
Rather eat them.
Yeah, or kill them off.
Woman stunned to see grandparents' wartime locket online after strangers buy it in thrift shop to find owner. That's kind of cool. So somebody bought it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow. Grandpa.
Let's see here. World's tallest 3D printed structure rises 4 stories into the air like a wedding cake, inspired by local bakeries. That's good. I like the idea of 3D. You know how long that probably took?
Forever.
Dude,
yeah.
it's insane.
Like 18 years?
Dude, I was talking to Kevin Lauren's brother about because he does some really cool things on the 3D printer.
Oh yeah.
You
It takes forever.
You can never mass produce anything.
No,
no.
that technology is
Very slow.
not for that purpose.
This is kind of crazy. I'm not going to dive deep into this one, but trees can warn us when volcanoes are ready to erupt, and NASA satellites can read their signals. Let's see if I can find this real quick.
Wow.
For the trees in advance of volcanic eruption, blah, 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 are released. Oh, I see. And the trees absorb it, become green and vibrant.
Oh, okay.
Like
that makes
the
total
stuff
sense.
that as
Yes.
it like gets
Yeah.
primed. I see.
Native turtles return to Yosemite after being overrun by invasive bullfrogs from the east. I love when a lot of that stuff kind of. We're killing a lot and we're bringing a lot back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
At least
doing.
trying to.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Stray dog rescued from streets. And this is the happiest looking dog you'll ever see. I'll show you this real quick. Visits dozens of countries with women who never liked dogs. Look at how happy that dog looks.
Oh my God. You know what? I gotta feel good.
Oh, yeah.
Hit me, baby.
Kind of related to that. A dachshund got lost out in the outback wilderness, with its family. I don't know if they were like out camping or out in a national park. Dog ran away. Things survived for like a year and a half out in
Outback?
Wild.
Oh, my God.
Occasionally they get pictures of it, but it was too skittish. And then just in the last few months, they found it, and they're like, "This dog, given it's a dachshund, they're like, we had no thought that it would be able to survive, several weeks. Let alone coyotes would get it, wolves,
Yeah, dingoes, right?
dingoes, like snakes.
Yeah, they have all the snakes.
It's got." Water's hard to find. They're like, we could not believe it. And they just got it back in the last few months.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's insane. I'm watching Alone in Australia right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm acting like a badass, but one guy lasted a day. In the morning he woke up, he's like, I'm out. I think 4 people left within 4 days. One guy did get COVID and he had to go, but the others were like, they were too uncomfortable. And this dog is probably being hawks want it, coyotes want it. This motherfucker, and he has to figure out. He's got to figure out what to eat.
Yeah.
He's never had to come up with his own meal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yup. And hope whatever you did isn't bad, because then if you get sick, you're probably dead.
Yep, 100%.
And you don't have the built-up immunity that a wild animal would.
Yep.
Wow, that's
Crazy.
incredible.
This is freaking nuts. Fulfilling the dream of medieval alchemist, physicist turns lead into gold accidentally.
Holy fuck! What?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that even is that gonna fuck up the price of gold?
I don't think so.
I'm assuming he had to do something, because that is.
The physicist saw that lead they started with had transformed into approximately 86 billion atoms of gold. So maybe that's like not.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
it's
not
like
all.
very,
Yeah.
very tiny.
That's kind of cool.
That is very cool,
Yeah.
though.
This is nice. I love. By the way, Texas Roadhouse cooks dogs. Last meal. Last meal. Owner is blown away by the restaurant's care. Like
That is kind of cool.
in the poor Publix. I mean, it sucks. It had to have been sick because it doesn't look like that old.
That's a shame. Yeah, especially if they know it's its last
Yeah.
meal. That's
He
that's
looks so
sweet,
happy.
though.
I love me a Texas Roadhouse.
Oh yeah.
The
It's
legendary margarita for Peter.
for sure, but also fairly priced good steaks.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go with the last one here. This man will listen to you talk about anything worth, won't charge a dime, and is coming to a town near you. That's kind of nice. So what he's trying to do is, unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the world. What the problem? One of the fucking stories this guy's heard though,
Oh, I'm sure he's heard some.
because you
crazy
gotta imagine
ones,
there's
too.
but he's not a priest, so you probably shouldn't confess to murder there.
Probably has heard some dark stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. That's, I mean, again, we're insanely blessed in the sense that, like, I mean, if anybody needed just to talk, like, you could grab anybody here within
Yeah.
a second and go for a drink and
We're very lucky.
go over
like
that.
Yeah.
There's just not, not everybody's got that.
no.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's full circle. We start with happiness, we get a little too political, and then we end with happiness.
It's not here.
Yeah, it's a
Great
good
time.
day.
It's a great
day.
time.
On that beautiful note, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Hit that like, subscribe. We are on Twitter and Instagram at the podcast SMP. You can text Pat and tell him how pissed you are for not being here. Also, Lena, she made a comment, but her comment actually got blocked by YouTube. She's like, how about you guys do a trivia night or something, and loser has to, maybe it was rock, paper, scissors. And she's so into us somebody getting a wedgie on this podcast.
No fucking chance.
If we don't got people asking for feet stuff, if we're asking for people want to see us get a wedgie. The internet is a crazy.
4-year-old dude in Russia. This is not a woman who
There's
wants to see
100%.
dudes get wedgies.
I mean, the internet is a wild, wild west. It is. People are into some weird stuff, like the Diddy trial. Sorry, well, I'm done this beautiful note, but it's not even a beautiful note. But Diddy, so his trial's going out, and it came out that what Diddy used to love. This is like his thing. So he would like to watch his girl Cassidy with a prostitute, like an escort. I think that's the right name I think it's now escorts. And then afterwards, the escort would finish on the girl, and then they would go into a separate room, and she would then rub it into his nipples.
Sweet Jesus, good Lord, my God.
How do you even know that you like that? How does that?
No.
Oh, beautiful. No, Chris, get us out of here.
We lost a sad one this week, guys. If you don't get a chance,
yes,
if you get a chance, go watch yourself a little Super Fans and enjoy yourself, Joe. If Dicka played God in golf, who would win?
Dicka.
Peter.
Trick question.
Dicka is God.
Hold on that beautiful note. I'm sorry. He did, and on the season finale of Cheers, I forget the guy's name.
George Wendt or
yes,
something. Yeah.
He did. He
Bill Swirsky, motherfuckers.
he talked about just life in general.
Norm on Cheers.
Yeah. Yes, he played Norm.
Yeah, Norm. Norm at the end of it talked about just how beautiful life is, and it's a really sweet and meaningful thing that if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It hasn't been. I'm sure people. Well, our generation has never seen it because Cheers was one of the series that when that ended, that was one of the biggest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just go check out this guy from a certain city that starts with a C and ends in an O and has a cog in the middle. Bye.